What's going on?
It's John Lee, the current champ.
He's never been defeated. Holds awesome records, including the fastest kill.
Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes, and today I want to talk a little bit about creative continuity, or lack thereof, and how it's been killing my enthusiasm for certain titles for quite some time now. As some of you may know, I'm a huge Conan the Barbarian fan. He's my second favorite character in fiction, right behind Luke Skywalker. When Marvel announced they had acquired the rights to the character and placed Jason Aaron on the series, I was a little bit apprehensive, to be honest. He's not my favorite writer, and I find him to be very hit or miss for me. So imagine my surprise, I got Conan the Barbarian #1, and I thought it was great. I enjoyed the story, and I thought the art by Mahmoud Asrar was really top-notch. Of course, he was soon eclipsed by Ron Garney in Savage Sword of Conan, but if you're interested in that series, I've already reviewed both issues on the channel. Now, the story quality through the first 3 issues didn't quite keep up to the #1, but the art was very good and consistent throughout. So imagine my trepidation when I opened up issue 4 this week, and I see there's a new artist on it. I've been reading Marvel for quite a while now, and sometimes the drop in quality from artist to artist is mind-blowing. But that wasn't the case for Conan the Barbarian issue 4. The art's actually still pretty good, but if you look at the style, they don't match at all. And if you look at the character, he doesn't even look like Conan the Barbarian anymore, at least not from the first 3 issues, and that is a huge turnoff. I feel like I should be able to expect a level of quality once I've decided to invest in a series, and only 4 issues in, it's already been changed. And what compelled the artist to draw Conan as a Morton Joe from Mad Max Fury Road is beyond me. Now, I'll admit, Conan doesn't look exactly like that through the entire book, but at best, he doesn't look the same as the first 3 books, and at worst, he looks like a coked-out demon. And sadly, this is almost as good as it gets for Marvel when they decide to change artists. Normally, the discrepancies are much worse. Take, for example, Marvel 2-in-1 by Chip Zdarsky. This book was excellent. It felt like it was going to be the reintroduction of the Fantastic Four to the Marvel Universe, and they picked Jim Chung to illustrate it. And boy did he deliver. Look at this amazing art right here. Look at all the detail. Look how awesome he makes the characters look, especially when Johnny Storr finally powers up. This is what longtime fans of the characters have been waiting for years, and Chung delivered and then some. And then unfortunately he left Marvel, and I believe he went and drew the first issue of Justice League by Scott Snyder. And Marvel 2-in-1 went through 2 more artists before it finished up its run at 12 issues. That's 3 different artists on a 12-issue series. Actually, it would be 4 on 13 if you count the annual issue as well. And by the end of the run, this was the quality of the art that you got. Look how bad this is in comparison. This looks like a child drew it in comparison to what Jim Chung was doing in the earlier issues. This is downright embarrassing. Why would Marvel even do this, especially to a great story that customers were loving? Their inability to put a worthy replacement on the series basically killed almost all enthusiasm for the series by the time it ended. And hell, that might have been the point. They probably knew that Dan Slott's Fantastic Four wasn't going to be written nearly as well as Zdarsky's Marvel 2-in-1, so they wanted to bomb the series with this shit art. After 10 issues, I was done with it. I didn't even buy the last 2, knowing that there were only 2 left. And I always finish the series. But Marvel does this to me, and they've done it time and time again the past few years. Take the return of Wolverine, one of the most important characters in all of the Marvel Universe, probably in the top 5 needle movers in the entire brand. And in issue 1, they put Steve McNiven on it, and you got this amazingly detailed and pretty gory art that was absolutely mind-blowing. Now, I didn't love the story all that much, but the art was really worth the cover price. Now, I kind of feel bad that McNiven had to be the first artist to introduce Hot Claws to the Marvel Universe, but other than that, this is amazing. Wolverine in his classic costume, in pure agony as he returns to the world. Now, Return of Wolverine was only a 5-part miniseries, and they couldn't keep McNiven on it past the first issue. And yes, I do know he returned for issue 5, but how the hell am I supposed to get through that when I have to look at this? Look at the face on that woman. She doesn't even look human. This art is so terrible in comparison to what McNiven established in issue #1. How can they expect the customers to keep coming back when the quality drops this much? Now, I don't blame the artist for taking the job, but I do feel bad for him. There's almost no detail in this whatsoever. In only one panel does the face even look normal, and this is basically a complete embarrassment compared to the first issue. And this is one of their most important characters in the entire universe. If this is how they're going to treat Wolverine, how can I expect them to treat any series with a lower tier character any better? I can't. And the worst part is, it's not always this bad. Hell, since Venom's relaunch under Donny Cates, Ryan Stegman has absolutely been blowing the art away. Now, I understand some people aren't happy that the symbiote has a codependent relationship with Eddie now, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this art. This is awesome, and it's very distinctive to Ryan Stegman's style. Now, do I think Ryan Stegman should never be able to take a vacation in his life, or, God forbid, have a family emergency where he can't do an issue in the run? Of course not. I understand these things happen. But when Stegman wasn't available for issue 8, the art was at least still good. Now, is this as good as Ryan Stegman? No. But at least it looks like the same fucking character. This isn't a total embarrassment. This isn't going to drive customers away and make them think Marvel doesn't give a shit about the character. This is how you do a replacement artist. And this is Marvel. So we know that they can do it, but they choose not to in most cases. And it's not isolated to just artists that's ruining creative continuity at Marvel. They do it with the writers as well. If anyone tried to read Marvel Knights 20, it was an absolute disjointed mess. As a customer, I saw Donny Cates, the hottest writer at Marvel, probably their second most consistent writer behind Zdarsky, on a Marvel Knights 20th anniversary tribute series. This has to be great. What could go wrong? I read issue 1. I figured out quite quickly this was not going to be a tribute series. But it certainly wasn't bad. It had some promise. I was actually pretty excited about continuing on with the series. And then what happens? Matthew Borsenberg shows up in the credits. That dude's writing is so boring and low T, he could make Deadpool a damn snooze fest. So why would they hamper their hottest creator with the dead weight of Borsenberg? Oh, and it only got worse from there. Next thing you know, Teenie Howard's penning scripts. And then the coup de grace, to make the series not worth finishing anymore, Vita Ayala shows up. The worst writer associated with any of the major publishers somehow gets a training wheels gig on Marvel Knights 20th anniversary issue. That makes a whole lot of sense. I guess there aren't enough series Marvel doesn't expect to make money on for her to ruin. Now they have to actually put her on stuff people want to read. And not even a creator as talented as Donny Cates can lift that kind of dead weight. Just another Marvel miniseries I couldn't even finish because they kept adding second-rate creators and bringing down the series. Now, Marvel isn't the only offender. DC does this a little bit as well, but not nearly to the degree that Marvel does. This is why I won't even read Marvel miniseries anymore, because you never know if they'll actually finish it. It's much safer to just wait for the trades and make sure that they didn't completely shit the bed again. So I hope you like this. This is something new that I'm going to be doing on the channel more often now. I believe my next rant is going to be about Brian Michael Bendis, and that should definitely be out this week. I got a lot of stuff to say about that asshole for sure. But if you like it, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know if you hated it, either way. And I hope everyone's enjoying the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I would appreciate it very much. It helps us attract more views for the channel. Subscribe for future commentary, comic book news, and reviews. And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. If you want to talk comics, movies, and much, much more, you can follow me on Twitter at Wes_from_TC. With that, Salamat Po, and I'm out.